What's going on, beautiful people? You're here today to figure out how to overcome your fears and anxieties and travel solo. You want to get out there, you want to see the world, you want to experience culture, you want to go do great things, meet great people, but you don't know how to do it. There's definitely a lot of wind and a lot of anxiety before you travel the world by yourself and just go discover new cultures and figure out new things. And wow, it's a very, very scary and intimidating thing to do. So today I thought I'd share a little story about my experience, because I'm 11 days in to my own solo backpacking adventure across Europe. Literally, I just said, I got 2 weeks off from work, let me go explore some shit. The tickets to London were cheap, and that was literally my only plan. I didn't even have accommodation booked for a place to sleep the first night until the day beforehand. So I've been roughing it up. I'm 10 days in, I'm in Amsterdam right now, and I'm gonna share some stories about my solo travels and things that are ways that I kind of coped with it. So let me just fast forward a little bit. London was an amazing city, and I ended up staying there for about 6 days. I was originally planning maybe 2 or 3, but I fell in love with that city, made a lot of good friends, had a lot of good experiences over there. But I could easily have stayed all of my 2 weeks for this journey in London. So I decided to get out of London. So I was looking up flights that day, and they're actually pretty cheap in Scotland, only £40. So I was trying to book to the airport because the flight left in 2 hours. Long story short, I didn't get there in time to actually get on that flight. So then I was let me just take this to the max. And I did the craziest shit I've ever done, but it's always something I wanted to do. I just went up to the guy at the airport and I'm like, hey, give me your cheapest ticket to end the next flight to anywhere. And he's like, you can go to Milan in an hour for £60. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. I was pumped, I was hyped. I'm I'm traveling the world, I'm being ambitious, I'm doing a bunch of crazy things. But then, this is a funny story, what happened. So I'm running through security, and it says the flight leaves at 7, it's about 6:25, but then it says last boarding's at was it 6:30? So I'm oh shit, I need to hurry up and get to this plane. So I'm booking it, and in America the planes are usually at the same gates. So I was unused to the British airport. So I'm looking down at my boarding pass, and I'm holy fucking shit, I don't have the gate on here. And then there's so many gates, so I'm running, how do I know what gate to go to? I kind of stumbled, I asked some lady eventually, and then you have to pretty look at these screens, and the gates are always constantly changing. So you just sit down and you wait for your flight to pop up on the gate. And so I looked up at the thing, and it was all red, and it didn't say anything delayed. It just said something weird, estimated 2040 or 840. And I was what the hell does that even mean? But anyways, yeah, the flight was delayed about 2 hours. So that's when it set in. At that moment, I was I've never heard of Milan. Do they even speak English in Italy? I don't know a damn thing about Italy. I was why am I going to Italy? I had that little moment, almost where you feel that little childhood fear, when you're missing your mom and shit, and you don't know what to do, and you're what the fuck am I doing? You're just so out of your comfort zone. You're so uncomfortable, so nervous. So I'm freaking out. I'm trying to find a place to sleep for the night, trying to figure out how to get from the airport to where I'm staying, which was another hour journey. And it was kind of hectic. And there's many times I thought about just saying, fuck it, book it. Just walk out of the airport, go back to London, stay there until my flight back to Texas. But I didn't do it. I slapped myself. I'm man up. What's the worst that's going to happen? Are you going to die? Well, in retrospect, if you're in some shady parts of the world, you could die, but Italy is fairly safe. I didn't know that at the time. So I had to have this little pep talk. I'm slapping myself, man up. No, you're following through with it. No, you're following through with it. And the worst part is that the flight was delayed 2 hours, so I had this mental battle for 2 hours. And I had also partied last night before the flight up to 5 in the morning, so I barely slept. I was really tired, really anxious. And long story short, I got on that flight and I'm flying to Italy, and I'm I don't fucking know anybody in Italy, and it just blew my mind. But I'm power through, because experience has taught me. I've had kind of similar situations in the past, and usually on the other side of this great fear and dread, the worst case scenario would be obviously death. But I always think of it this way: if I died, I wouldn't be alive to regret it. But that's a bad way to think about it. The other way is, are you really going to die? I think if you ever read the 4 Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss has a thing called fear setting. So whenever you're trying to do something big or make a big decision, and if you're nervous about it, just see what the 3 worst case scenarios would ever be, and then ask yourself, are they really bad? And half the time you can figure out solutions to them, so then it's not bad at all. So yeah, I'm kind of doing this thing. I'm like, I'm going to Italy. There's people in Italy. I have my cell phone. I'm an adult, 6'4" man. I can fend for myself. I know I can figure this shit out. I have to just keep giving myself that little pep talk. And if you're having that little battle too, keep giving yourself that little pep talk. You can figure it out. Most of the world, you can find like Wi-Fi or internet or figure out the currency or how to get food. It's not too difficult. But anyways, long story short, fast forward, I land in Italy and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I don't fucking know anybody here. I end up seeing a couple guys who were also backpacking. I could tell because they had big backpacks like me and their English was really good. So I teamed up with them and we're trying to figure out the public transportation. Because the flight was delayed, I'm gonna stand up real quick. Because the flight was delayed, I ended up getting there at like 1:30 and the last bus left at like 1:45. So me and these two strangers that I met, thank God I met them because I was like so like nervous. I needed like some friends in a foreign country. End up like teaming up. We're like running, fumbling, trying to find where the hell the bus stop's at. Finally get to the bus. As we're running up to it, there's two guys at the bus stop. And we're like, wait for the bus. Long story short, the bus driver just slammed the door in the face of the two gentlemen that were there because it's like, oh, it's time to go. Last bus, have to leave. And didn't wait for us. And we're just like shocked and appalled, like, do they do this in Italy? Like, what? It was crazy. But long story short, the cool thing is that if I had to end up getting like a cabbie by myself, it would have been like 120 euros. Or if I broke down and got an Uber, it would have been like 140. But we all split a cab and ended up only being 20 euros for each of us. And then I just got to know these two strangers from Sweden. They were the guys that got the door slammed in their face. Long story short, they invite me to attend a Ethiopian wedding. And I'm just like, wow, that's really fucking cool. In a country where I literally know nobody, I got invited to attend this Ethiopian wedding. I went to that wedding. It was so fucking beautiful. Like I drank and ate from like 3 in the afternoon until like midnight. The Ethiopian people were just like loving me. I was like doing a bunch of like the traditional dances, eating the cuisine, making friends with everybody. And I just felt extremely privileged to just be halfway across the world in a city where I initially knew nobody, and just to feel so welcomed by these people and meet so many people and actually get invited to a fucking wedding. And it's crazy. And it's like those kinds of adventures and stories, they're never planned. You can never plan it. And it's just kind of like a destiny type thing. Like once you overcome that little fear, because I was about to book it at London airport, go back to London. I didn't, I powered through, and then I got epic experience halfway across the world. And honestly, it didn't even stop there because the next day in Italy, the anxiety kind of set back in when I woke up, and I like didn't even want to leave my like hostel room. I'm like, I should just book a flight back now. I wanted to run home again. It was like the most ridiculous thing. But I'm like, no, you at least have to stay for this wedding, which was like 2 days from the time. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just go out, walk, explore the city. First cafe, like literally 30 minutes after I left my hostel room, I go to a cafe. I'm like, I'll just eat here. I sit down. Table next to me is two beautiful girls. One was from Ukraine, one was from Poland. Long story short, I ended up drinking wine with these ladies for like 5 hours straight. Got their information, and they took me out with them to the club the next day, and it was just epic. Like we drank, we partied, we hung out till 4 in the morning. And how does that even happen? Like I just meet complete strangers, and now all of a sudden we're like real good friends. And it was like the best thing to experience, because honestly, like just meeting people halfway across the world when you don't know anybody, and then making these like bonds and awesome friendships, like the best feeling. So long story short, I didn't die because I'm here in Amsterdam now, and I really miss Milan, a city that I was so anxious about visiting and so nervous to go to. Ended up just being like the best time of my life. Like, yeah, one of the best times of my life for sure. Like it was such an enriching experience. Like I didn't even want to leave Italy. I regret booking my ticket to Amsterdam so soon because I ended up having so much fun in Italy because I was nervous. First day I was there, I'm like, I just need to make sure I have like my ticket back to like the Netherlands or somewhere northern, because my flight back to America leaves from London. So I booked it not knowing I would have such an awesome time. So at the end of like the 2-day mark, I'm just like going to the airport, and I'm like, man, if I missed my flight, it wouldn't be the worst thing because I would love to stay in Italy a little bit longer. But it was cool. Definitely had 2 crazy, amazing, once-in-a-lifetime experiences in a foreign country, foreign land, so far from Texas. Like, it was beautiful. So you just gotta tell yourself, whenever fear's at your door and you're feeling anxious and you're nervous, and you don't want to take that next step, you have to, because on the other side, it's joy, it's life, it's pleasure, fucking incredible experiences, and you're gonna thank yourself for it in the end. Obviously, we all die one day. We don't want to be on your deathbed and just be nervous that you didn't do all the things you needed to do. Done.